Is it possible to do too much of a good thing? What about exercise? In an age where the benefits of exercise are aggressively advertised, it might surprise you to hear that not only is it possible to exercise too much, but it can be devastating to do so. Such is the case with exercise addiction, a very real disorder that impacts 3% of gym attendees. It's broadly defined as a dysfunctional pattern of excessive exercise that negatively impacts physical and mental health. Exercise addicts work out despite injuries and suffer from withdrawal symptoms like anxiety if they can't exercise as much as they feel the need to. They also frequently have other issues, like eating disorders or perfectionism. There are several theories about what causes exercise addiction. Some think that a dysfunction in certain neurotransmitters in the brain, like dopamine, might play a role. Others have argued that exercise addiction might be maintained because it's seen as a healthy way to cope with stress and contributes to this feeling of being in control. Of course, the causes and problems associated with exercise addiction may not be the same for everyone. But despite this, the standard treatment is usually some form of cognitive behavioral therapy, which aims to help the client correct automatic thoughts, like the idea that one must control the body. As a student of clinical psychology, I was concerned about this one-size-fits-all approach to treatment. I wondered if there might be subtypes of individuals with exercise addiction with different symptom clusters. If so, then it might not make sense to treat them all in the same way. I collected data from 379 people who were symptomatic or at risk for exercise addiction. Using a statistical approach called latent profile analysis, I found that they could be grouped into two subtypes with different risks for co-occurring psychological problems. They also differed in their expression of a personality trait called alexithymia, which affects aspects of emotion processing. Type 1 reported mild exercise addiction and problems experiencing emotion. Type 2 reported more severe exercise addiction, coupled with severe symptoms of eating disorder and depression. They also had difficulty understanding and describing their emotions. My research demonstrates that individuals with exercise addiction are not all the same. Subtyping research like this may help us refine our theories of how this behavioral addiction develops, and may also have important clinical implications. The subtypes I identified have very different clinical characteristics, which suggests that using a standard cognitive behavioral treatment for all exercise addicts doesn't make sense. Instead, interpersonal therapy may be more beneficial for those who have problems experiencing emotion. In contrast, emotion-focused therapy might prove more useful for those who have difficulties understanding and describing their emotions. Strengthening these cognitive skills may help these individuals to better regulate their mood, which may, in turn, help them to control both their eating habits and their need to exercise. Thank you.